Well, hello, and let's take a moment to take a look at the recently added Runway Gen-4 image generation model into Krea. The Runway Gen-4 image generation model was crafted specifically with the intention to keep visual continuity by preserving coherence and resemblance among characters, locations, objects, and so on. It's pretty easy to use. It works similarly to like what you would do with ChatGPT Image 1, but with a high degree of precision in resemblance. You can add up to three reference to an image, add three reference images. Let's say we're going to add this little puppy, this little plushie, and maybe a location, these waterfalls here. And then your images get names. So you can change the name of your reference or keep it as there is. Let's say plushie. Let's say dog. Let's say landscape. And then you can prompt by referencing those things on your prompt by using the add. So for example, the plushie and the dog running on the waterfall from the landscape. You can reference on an image a character, a location, an object, even a style or a lighting situation. So I'm going to generate here. But for example, I could eliminate this reference that it's here, add a reference for style. Let's say that I'm going to pick up this image that has this blue lightning. And then I'm going to go and say the plushie and the dog hugging each other with the lighting and temperature of the photography style of reference 2. The reference are cap sensitive. So let's generate. Let's look at some of the examples that we have already generated to start understanding what is the intention behind it. Of course, since Runway, it's a thing that it's basically to generate cinematic and films content that is oriented to like filmmaking. The idea is that you are able to keep like a same actor or a same location over a coherent set of things. So for example, here we have like this lady dressed as this astronaut behind a ship that is shaped as this plushie. You can see that the preservation of the subject works very well. When you change one object to another thing, it's imaging some stuff, but it works pretty well when it's a character. Like for example, you can see that the astronaut, it's almost always the same astronaut, and the woman kind of changes from picture to picture, but that can be explained because her face is barely visible from here. This works way better when you, for example, have a very recognizable character on a photo. So let's go to reuse parameters here, and you can see that the face of this character in this first photo, it's very visible. You can easily distinguish the features, so you can get more pictures of him doing different stuff. Here I try to prompt for this character doing a speech with a mecha robot behind, and so on. Here, for example, let's use parameters. I get the Pomeranian from this reference, cuddling with the plushie from reference 0. And as you can see, since I didn't prompt for the little suit that the Pomeranian is wearing, it didn't got it. So I would have to prompt the Pomeranian dog from reference 1, cuddling with the plushie from reference 0 while wearing his suit and cap. And let's generate. One of the most useful things that you can do with this is basically have character continuity or generate character images across a wide variety of situations. So you can see here, for example, if I reuse parameters, I wanted this character swimming on the waterfalls on this photo, and I pretty much keep a very good high degree of resemblance among pictures. So if you need to generate a data set for a character or a character in diverse situations, Runway Gen-4 is a great way to keep facial preservation and to get like more images of that character doing things. Oh my God, look at this. Let's see the parameters that we used for this. It was the plushie and the dog running on the waterfall from the landscape. And we got the plushie and the dog running on the waterfall for the landscape. So as you can see, usage is very simple, very intuitive. And the idea is that you start imagining how can you keep visual continuity until more complex story with the ability to keep a character or an object consistency and then switch locations, switch lighting situations, and so on. Remember that we asked for these two characters hugging with the other lighting situation on the reference? The runner from the third reference is not there, but the lighting situation is there. That's the idea, that you get clever around how can you reference and preserve the identity of a character doing stuff. For example, see here, we prompted for the little suit, and now the Pomeranian keeps his little suit.